Hello everyone and welcome back. So I have a really nice battle here that someone sent me. It sent me quite a while ago and I haven't been ignoring it, just got to it now. And this is a really great battle. His username is Burny, one of my viewers, and he's going to do a really nice job here with a nice little sword core. Not a katana core, he's got a nice little variety. Let's do the setups now. So 1, 2, 3, 4 katana samurai, a no dachi, and a lone sword. His two spears are an ashigaru and a samurai. And then he also has 4 cavalry, 2 great guard here, and he's also kind of crabbing off here in the side with 2 Yari cavalry. Now I said Forest Gully is a great map for crabbing, but on this side, the south side, it's not quite so good. You don't really have anywhere else to go. Then he also has a matchlock Ashigaru, rank 4, so they haven't strayed into a brokenly powerful territory yet, and a single bow samurai. Let's see over here on white. We have 4 bows. Are they all? So yes, they're all samurai. He has a matchlock Ashigaru in hiding, a Naginata monk, a Naginata samurai, and then 5 katanas. He also has 3 cavalry, 2 of them great guard, hidden off in the forest too. Now white is going to go into camping mode right away. Just going to completely ignore the buildings, which you don't want to do on this map because it's the 3 best capturable buildings in the game: the sword dojo, the workshop, and the shrine. So white is going to make a really bad mistake here by completely forsaking the buildings, and it's just going to run off to a hill to camp on. Terrible idea, bad strategy. This is just, camping is not good, folks, but it's all the worse when they're capturable buildings, especially the 3 best. So while the crab doesn't exactly work over here, what he will be able to do with this cavalry is capture these 2 buildings. His main force is over here by the sword dojo, capturing that, and his cavalry will try and get the other 2, and it'll make his force just an unstoppable machine. Now let's look at advantages. Yes, here we go, white's cavalry is out. Red has a slight cavalry advantage, having 1 Yari cavalry more than the enemy, otherwise they're identical. White has a pretty big ranged advantage too. They both have 1 matchlock Ashigaru, but white here has 4 bow samurai, all veterans, and red only has 1 bow samurai, so he's going to have to be careful about skirmishing. Looks like the onus to attack will be on red. Infantry-wise, I think red has the advantage. He has 6 units to white's 5 katanas, and actually, you know what? I think white may have an advantage there in the infantry department. Not huge, but he has one with 1 warrior monk, 5 katanas, and a Naginata samurai. It looks like the infantry advantage is in white's favor. So all red really has going for him is a slight cavalry advantage. Now, that's going to be tough to work around, especially on kind of a map like this, if he camps over here on a hill in the forest, and his cavalry advantage isn't that big, just 1 more unit. So red's going to have some serious work ahead of him if he wants to win this battle. But of course white's going to make a classic blunder and camp. And that's just a terrible idea, it really is. Because you're letting red have all 3 of the buildings, and they give some substantial upgrades. So even if red has a melee disadvantage going into it, he will have probably a melee advantage once he captures all 3 of these buildings. Just really bad. Come on, people out there that camp, just grow some balls, you know? Don't just sit on a hill. I mean, what is he going to do? And with the hilly terrain, it's not so good for matchlocks. He could probably put one up here, I guess. He does have a pretty nice camping spot, but still, you know, just camping is just one of those things. I hate it, you know? If both sides just camp, then you don't have a game. You just have people sitting there staring at each other. It's horrible. I think ideally people should be kind of meeting in the middle, you know, but oh well. Not that I say that it's cowardly to use terrain advantages or anything, but you know, come on, grow some balls. Anyway, we have cavalry rushing out to counteract red's capturing of the buildings. Now, it would be awesome to lure his cavalry into a charge by dismounting his Yari cavalry, but unfortunately, red here has sent a katana cavalry to the middle, and they will not be able to defend themselves against the cavalry. So he's probably not going to be able to get this workshop unless the Yari cavalry comes over and helps him out. But he will get the shrine at least, and they already have the sword dojo, so that's 2 big upgrades. The production building will probably just be the final nail in the coffin, or just the icing on the cake. So shrine is about to be captured. White kind of dicking around. At least I can give him that much. He did send out cavalry in some early action to try and scare them away from the buildings, but you're not going to scare them off forever, you know? And plus, if he can distract you with his cavalry and then push in on an assault while your cavalry's not there, that's going to be bad news, because red has 2 great guards over here lying in wait, and they can just smash through the infantry line. Now, the infantry advantage is pretty even on both sides. I don't think one side in particular has a huge advantage, but like I said, with these buildings, it's going to be pretty hugely in red's favor. and he can use his cavalry to focus on other advantages the white has, namely the missile advantage. All white would have to do is tie down red's infantry line, and with a war cry from his Naginata monk and those bow samurai just pouring into him, red could be in dire straits in this battle, so he's going to have to use some good strategy to win. Or just not camp and capture the buildings, you know, that really helps too. We're going to get kind of an interesting cavalry battle here because both sides are just going to like rout simultaneously. I'll triple speed it, and then there we go. Both units just routed here, okay? And then that same thing's going to happen here. It's 10 against 10. There goes red's, but then white's cavalry is going to waver, and he's going to rout too. Let's see, there he goes. So everybody just lost their cavalry here on this side. That means that white has no cavalry. Actually, no, he has one cavalry unit to red's 2. And both of red's cavalry are great guards. They're still, red still has a lot of firepower in the cavalry department right now. But he's already started on the attack. And I also will applaud white for putting his matchlocks in a clear line of sight and not just cheesing them through the lines. I always appreciate when people do that. It's kind of silly to, you know, count on that no friendly fire to help you. It's kind of like a crutch. So I can give him props for that. Unfortunately, he's not going to protect him well, and some Katana Samurai are going to be able to just come up and lay into him. Nice volley there, took out about 20 men. But now white's going to do an okay job here responding to this infantry. He's not going to send everybody up all at once. He's just going to fill in with his and just fill in a couple units here and have his reserves on standby to just fill in where they're needed. Because what he should probably do, now that red I think has the infantry advantage with the sword dojo and the shrine, is just hold him down with as few units as possible and just lay into him with these missile units. Try and keep him safe, and then just kind of fill in with reserves wherever you need them, but especially maybe to block the cavalry. Now red's cavalry is coming up on the left side here. There's one great guard left who's going to kind of waste his charge going into the backs of his own matchlock Ashigaru. They're going to kind of break the charge right there. And so not going to get a very good charge into the katanas, but at least he wasn't in wedge formation. At least he can say that. So red's cavalry is going to take advantage of that and just run right into the backs of his great guard and try and finish him off. Now, red's infantry line was wavering here in the beginning, and red's going to be very gutsy. He must have a melee general, because what he's going to do is run his melee general right into the thick of the action and just try and push on through. Really aggressive move. I really like seeing that kind of stuff. So his generals come up and pop the rally just to keep everybody in position. Red's kind of pulling back. I think he's trying to funnel everybody into a small area, maybe create a hole in the middle where his general can run through. Now some katanas are coming up to try and support the Ashigaru and the cavalry. The Ashigaru has shattered, by the way. But red's going to be able to take his cavalry out. Now, look at this. White is starting to waver. He's taken quite a few casualties. This Naginata is gone. It has 4 men. This Katana Samurai is below half. So red, with his building bonuses, just chewing right through white. And red does not need his cavalry to win the infantry battle. So he's going to make a very wise decision. And instead of going to the infantry line, which the battle is basically won for red at this point, and he's going to try and run him right into the missiles, which is pretty much the only thing that can win the battle for white at this point. So really great decision there. It's a good judging of your advantages and disadvantages and what you need to win. It doesn't need any infantry support to win, because look at this, red is just cleaning up. He's kind of blobbed all of his infantry together and is just smashing them in little pieces. Perfect, that's a great thing to do. Swallow the little chunks and then send everybody at what's left. Great idea. So here comes red's great guard into the missile units. The bow samurai are just going to get hammered here. This Katana Samurai just cleaning up these 2 units, got them tied down. The matchlock Ashigaru were firing, so are the bows. Spears are still sitting back, just on reserve. Definitely would have moved him up, but he's probably micromanaging elsewhere. But look at this. Managed to create a hole right in the middle, and here comes red's general to smash into white's. Very nice move. White's general is down to half strength. Red's is still totally fine, only lost 5 men. He's just going to eat through white's bodyguard, and once that general dies, this battle is over. We got wavering everywhere, and he just divided them up in those little chunks and just walked away with the victory. Really, really great job on red's part, considering at the beginning of the battle he didn't really have any big advantages. The only one he had really was a slight cavalry advantage, and the infantry was fairly even. Missile was definitely in white's favor, and he just walked up onto that hill and just destroyed that camper. I love this kind of battle. Take a lesson here from red. It looked like white was in a pretty strong position, but by putting himself in this strong position, he left the buildings open to be captured. And so his infantry was able to just chew right through the enemy. Know what your advantages and disadvantages are. Good idea for his cavalry to go into the missile unit, seeing as the infantry battle was pretty much won. You want to try and hit the things with your cavalry that can turn the infantry battle in the enemy's favor. In this case, it was the missile units, so that's where he sent his cavalry. And the cavalry, too. He did Red sent his cavalry to hurt White's cavalry and then went to the missiles. So making an order of threats there, and just try and take down each one individually. Use your cavalry to fight whatever is going to turn the infantry battle in the enemy's favor. A really great lesson in action there from Red. So once again, his username is Burny, and a really great job there, Burny. Hope maybe to see more from you in the future, and thanks for watching, everybody. Up onto that hill and just destroyed that camper. I love this kind of battle. Take a lesson here from Red. It looked like White was in a pretty strong position, but by putting himself in this strong position, he left the buildings open to be captured, and so then his infantry was able to just chew right through the enemy. Know what your advantages and disadvantages are. Good idea for his cavalry to go into the missile unit, seeing as the infantry battle was pretty much won. You want to try and hit the things with your cavalry that can turn the infantry battle in the enemy's favor. In this case, it was the missile units, so that's where he sent his cavalry. And the cavalry, too. He did Red sent his cavalry to hurt White's cavalry and then went to the missiles. So making an order of threats there, and just try and take down each one individually. Use your cavalry to fight whatever is going to turn the infantry battle in the enemy's favor. A really great lesson in action there from Red. So once again, his username is Burny, and a really great job there, Burny. Hope maybe to see more from you in the future, and thanks for watching, everybody.